Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Hytale here, Memorial. We got some sidestepping now, along with some rope mechanics. We can go up and down ropes like we could before, and also kind of climb around them. Might use this now as kind of a way of getting up and down here. Still have the option to just climb up, but that makes it a lot easier to be able to use those ropes. So we might play around with that idea a little bit. Did do some off-camera building here, put together some kind of idea. Realized these areas, if I decided to use them for workbenches, it wouldn't quite work. I only am able to read a couple of chests, only 20 of them, so I assume probably like this corner up here I can read those ones. Kind of end up limiting myself quite a bit, so probably won't use down here for crafting area. Like a secondary area from up here. We'll probably still try to primarily use up here since all of these connect to all the chests. Yeah, ended up building up down here quite a bit. They posted, there's a new update, so that's what really sidestepping and rope climbing is all about there. The enemies can also sidestep now, which is does look kind of interesting. Didn't even realize they were lacking it before until it was added. But yeah, they did do some patch note stuff whenever it came to the portals here. Kind of interested in what they meant. They kind of said something about the portals needing to explore a certain range out. Not entirely sure what that meant, but this seems to still work as I use them here. So I'm not sure. Got a blizzard there for a second. I'm not sure what they meant entirely with that there, but might end up using down here these as channels to go down again. So we might even just do a staircase, and then I'm thinking this area is primarily going to be just the portal, and then we'll have the option here of running straight up to the storage room, or possibly an underground kind of garden or something down there. Want to make a lot more of those essential or eternal crops and stuff. Not really making them too much at the moment. Still need to get into the basic of farming. Only got to tier 2 so far. They did add the scythe, which in itself could be kind of interesting, doing large crop yields rather than just singles. But yeah, still need to mess around a lot more whenever it comes to the farming stuff there. Probably won't play around with that anymore today. Kind of want to play around with some more of the new update stuff. Did realize we are getting pretty far along in our way of collecting memories here, so probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to run over there real quick. Am kind of curious. They added a taming option to a lot of the creatures, at least the mountables. I'm not sure how it works in terms of other animals, but instead of climbing onto the horse here, it is asking to tame. So let's kind of see what that's about. Okay, so they want a carrot there. So I wonder if that then means that I need to go gather a carrot real quick and give it to them. Okay, we might have to play around with that a little bit later. I know I've seen some carrots in the area, but I'm just going to go ahead and grow some more and just walk my way over to the temple real quick. So they are posting... Okay, so other animals are also showing tameable. I don't know if the babies can grow up yet, but it does appear as though we can try to tame them as well. It looks like they require pumpkins. So if we're going that aspect, we definitely need to get more into the farming. Okay, back over to that Forgotten Temple, and I thought real quick, before we cash in these memories, I didn't see anything in the patch notes, but you never know. Looks like all of these are still work in progress. Yeah. Okay, looks like there's nothing new here from what I can tell, at a quick glance at least. So let's cash these in real quick. That now brings us up to 100 unlocked memories. This actually brings a lot of upgrades. So we got the portal fragments, which is interesting, ancient gateway, backpack upgrade 2, more decorative chests, and eternal seeds. Max 2 teleporters. Okay, and then from this point, we would need to get another 200 memories to be able to unlock the next upgrade there. Now, I may just be misremembering, but I do feel like there was some changes to the general area. I don't remember the grass quite being the way in which it is. Also, these guys seem to be wandering around and exploring a bit more. They used to be very static and just kind of staying where they were. But definitely see a lot more movement with them. Of course, not now. Not while I'm mentioning it, but I have seen them walk around a little bit more. Okay, so getting back over to the storage hub here. Still waiting a little bit for those carrots to grow. Well, we're kind of waiting on that. I do want to do some expansion out on the base here. Might do a better kind of drop down here rather than just kind of a drop with all this dirt and stuff around the place. Might want to make it feel more enclosed down here. So we'll probably go and get some more hardwood. Running a little bit low on that right now. So we'll go chop down some trees real quick. That was a big tree. And then, I don't know if I'll mess around with it at all today. I know one of the big things in this update is the fire and the fire ticks, stuff like that. I know in the past we kind of tried placing wood down the lava. I almost want to try that again. Maybe even try to get one of the goblin flamethrowers or something. But yeah, just going to keep chopping away for right now. I knew that I found carrots around the area. Okay, so we do have a carrot, so I might go try to tame that horse here in a sec. While we're at it, I wanted to see as well, there's a bear over near the spawn here. I want to see... Okay, no prompt to try to tame him. Would be kind of fun to get a vicious mount like a bear or a wolf or something tameable. Guess we'll keep playing around with that and see if that is an option. I definitely feel like with the small trees, you only have to break one. It's a lot less satisfying than having to break a little bit more of a stump there. And I guess the general payoff with breaking one of the large ones compared to one of the small ones is a lot more. Breaking one log, you get, I don't know, it feels like a lot less of the logs than you do from breaking the big ones. Oh no. Doesn't look like you can tame the foxes. Well, maybe... Let me try with an empty hand real quick. Oh. I don't know what I did in particular to really mess this guy up, but he went from just running away from me to now attacking me. His health is still full. Can't see his health bar. He just really did not like whatever I did there. Which I think was just kind of standing still. Maybe it's because I tried to give him a carrot. No, now he's just in my base. He is not letting this go. I don't want to kill you. Are you playful? Okay, you're just running away again. Maybe if you chase them for too long, then they start coming after you. But he's near my base, and I kind of hope that one day I can tame him. We're going to try it out with the horses real quick, and I kind of want to test to see with the baby horse as well. Okay, I believe I just tamed this rabbit. I kind of thought, well, carrots make sense for rabbits as well, right? Okay, now you can pet him. And from the general, what I got from the patch notes is that now you can periodically pet them and they will not run away from you anymore. But I need to kind of make more of a pen for them. I don't know if breeding... I might need to reread the patch notes real quick. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's any kind of breeding or anything in the game right now. Generally, it just says that they can be petted with an empty hand and milk sheared or mounted. They also will not be aggro with you anymore. So whenever you go to interact with them. Yeah, so now you can just mount him or mount her. And then whenever you jump off, they are not likely to run away from you anymore, which is nice within itself there. I don't think I can give them more food. But yeah, pet them with an empty hand. Which is kind of nice that now I'm not getting kicked every single time that I hop off the horse here. Definitely interesting. But then yeah, holding their favorite food, they will immediately just come to you now. Would almost be nice to be able to throw some kind of food like that into the offhand so you don't, you can attract your horse or whatever mount to you with their food. Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty decent range on the tracking too. The rabbit's even coming back over to me. And I can pet the rabbit again. It does say you can periodically feed them. So it'd probably be with F there. But yeah, definitely nice there. I still need to make some way of. Oh, I don't know if I pet them there or what. But yeah, some kind of a kennel or something for them. But at least now they're friendly towards me. It doesn't look like there's anything like that with the frogs. Also upgraded one of the furnaces here. They did change the texture. The default texture within itself does look a little bit different than how I remember it, at least. I think it was a little bit more blocky. Now it's more of a kind of a curved shape over it, and then whenever you upgrade it, it turns into kind of a two-layered system with the inside poking out a little bit more. You also get that kind of a design up top there. Only the one upgrade, so you can only get it up to tier 2. And I don't believe there's any other huge changes to it, just, I guess now you have the bars going down. Didn't notice that before. But, yeah, it seems to be smelting about the same speed as it was before. I guess I could check real quick, see between the two of these, if any of them get smelted any faster. Well, we're kind of waiting for that. They did do some changes to the map as well here. Looks like you're able to add custom kind of markers here. Let's kind of see how that works. You used to be able to right-click and add a marker. You do have a few different options now, which is nice. Different colors. You can add names to it. Let's try to see. So over here, this is around about where that cave entrance is. So we kind of throw a marker there, make it into the cave. Let's just go with a pink for now. And let's just call it a starter cave. And then you can choose whether or not to share it with other players. I wonder if that's something that you can toggle on and off later on in case you do want to share with a specific player where something is. But yeah, if we go ahead and create that now. Now we have starter cave there on the map. And I'm wondering, it does also show up on the compass, which is kind of nice. So you can actually kind of add marker points to things that you find interesting. So looks like they did change a few other icons. I don't remember the start one looking like that. But yeah, now we can easily make our way back over to the entrance of the cave here. And I guess while we're at it as well, we can kind of pinpoint on the top surface here all the other cave entrances that we kind of find. It does look like there's a little bit of a range here. You can't click too close to the player. Would almost be nice to be able to do some kind of right where you're standing add marker. So you do need to stand a little bit further back from where you're trying to add the marker, which is fine. And kind of curious, if we add 2 with the same name there, okay, so you could just do the exact same name with a few different objects, or a few different markers. And then can you edit them after the fact? Select location, deselect. So for the time being, it does look like these are very stationary. Once you create them, you either have the option of deleting them or recreating them, which could be nice to be able to edit them later on if you come up with a different name or different color, or maybe they even come out with different icons. So that way you can continue to update them as you go there. But yeah, I guess we'll just do the same kind of thing here. Cave, maybe we'll do this one blue, and it'll be exit 1. Okay, we actually call it entrance 1. We are at that cap point. We can't add any more characters to that. We'll probably just use starter cave entrance 1, and then we'll just need to make sure we don't go over 9 there. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a little bit of a renaming scheme there. But probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go through and start, as we go through our adventure, label out areas that would be nice to go back to. Another thing that I am kind of interested with the custom labels like this is if you add a custom label that is outside of the map's render area, it should still pop up on the compass, but will it show up in the outer bounds of the map there? Kind of, for example, we have another portal up here. We can't see that no matter how hard we scroll up there. But we can easily see that warp HQ storage hub up on the compass. So we go down here. A few more enemies spawn, so we'll just kind of step aside. Can we see? Can't really see them. We can see the starter base there. Just the bed at least. We can't see the warp. But we can see those. We can't really see them on the compass either. So you might need to be within that compass range for the map to kind of show it to then pop up on the compass, which is interesting. And we're over here at Gregor's grave. I did notice, so they did spark. So grass can actually spread now. It looks like on this area the grass did spread underneath that that dirt there. So we will probably change this out to something that it will not spread to. That way it's more clearly distinct. Interesting though, whenever things are on top of the mud there, it doesn't look like anything spreads to the mud, in terms of the grass at least, or it has not yet. I'm going to have to look around a little bit, try to find some better blocks than that though. Okay, something a little bit more like that. The only problem with this is it doesn't kind of mesh with the grass on the side, but at least it's a distinguished kind of area. Mainly came over here because I wanted to add this as a marker, so that way I always remember Gregor whenever I'm in the area and where exact this was. So we'll add something like this, Gregor's grave, between all the different options that we kind of have right now. I think we're just going to go with the default map marker there, and Gregor's grave, and then kind of blue. Probably more blue for the sadder kind of tones blue generally has. But yeah, now we'll know where Gregor's grave is whenever we're in the area. I also noticed while we're over here, they did kind of add some pine cones, or at least I was not noticing these before whenever I was exploring this area. I'm not sure if the pine cones are now a way to grow these trees, or if they are just kind of a decorative object here. Interesting. They are placed on the ground here, but I cannot place them back down. Alright, but we've kind of explored the snowy area up here a little too much recently. We're going to get back to our home here and probably do some more expansion. I feel like we're going to definitely need to be careful nighttime here. This is actually a good way to experiment when it comes to the enemies spawning, if the light level is a huge factor in it. Okay, so they are just asleep. I do kind of want to protect them whenever I'm not here. I don't know if they'll suffocate from that. So kind of playing around a little bit with how the lighting works in the game. Over on the side, the debug menu there, you got the light local underneath the world there. And it's kind of showing as I stand on this that we have, I'm assuming it's just the standard RGB and then S. I'm not sure what the S is supposed to mean there. I guess maybe it's local, so if I bring out my tools here, it's still 15. So the RGB is the only thing that I'm really going to be going off of here. Looks like we have 11 on the R10-9, and as we kind of go over this way, the middle section here in between these two, so doing about 3 blocks in between, we're getting to a 7, 6, and 5, so 7, 6, 5. Actually, there is... So yeah, kind of on this block here. This will probably be the perfect distance here to make sure things do not spawn. Hard to test without full playing around with it here, but that seems to be a good light level. So we're probably actually going to do a quick torch grid here, about like this, 3 blocks in between each direction, and expand it out over towards the horses there, or the horse. So yeah, something a bit more like this. That way, hopefully if we do it just right, we can kind of set up a perimeter where mobs do and do not spawn if light level is a huge factor in it. This will also give us a way to test to see if the skeletons and the enemies at night kind of spawn out over in this area, or if by placing these torches that will block them out from spawning over here. Okay, I made about 395 torches here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do from the base, this is going to be that first corner that we're kind of starting with there, properly spacing it with the center of the chest area. We're going to go 10 torches out this way and then have it kind of diamond out that way. So we're going to have a perimeter that turns into kind of a diamond block shape here. So we're going to start off with each one of these sides here and just get that out of the way real quick. So just test it real quick. So it does seem to heal the horse. I accidentally hit this horse here. And walking back over, it did allow me to feed them again. And whenever I did, their health did slowly peak back up. So they do get some kind of regeneration whenever you do feed them, which is nice there. Did the general outline for all the way to that corner, all the way around to that side of the base there. Still need to go through and fill in all the torches in the kind of center of this area here, but we'll definitely get that kind of effect at night of that diamond there. It goes all the way up over there, behind that hill over there, behind that rock over in that area. And I'm going to start slowly bringing it back over this way. It will probably reach out closer to that kind of spawn. Might even try to make it extend out to the spawn. That way, if at any point I somehow get brought back to spawn, I can just walk straight back to my house during the night and not have to worry about the light or possibly the monsters. We'll kind of see how the spawning works there later on. Okay, so to do the general outline of where all the torches are going to go. I'm going to be filling in this in slowly as we go here, but for right now, it does actually seem to lead right near the base of the structure over there at spawn, which will be nice because then I can just kind of expand it just slightly over there and make a more approachable way here. And then we'll probably end up throwing up some kind of wall or some kind of transitional way here. So that way all of the lights and everything kind of blend into the wilderness out there. So we created a very strict kind of perimeter here around our base. Didn't end up getting all that much building and stuff done today. Still have a lot to mess with whenever it comes to the new update here, but do think that there's a lot more we can do now, and we'll have to play around more, especially with the farming. They're still kind of work in progress whenever it comes to a lot of the mobs and the breeding and the taming and stuff like that, but definitely more than we had in the past, so we'll play around with that a lot more next time. But I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.